Hello, welcome to the channel. Today's video is a review of Casa Bonita. We have been on the wait list for uh, ever. Our friends actually got a reservation before we even got on. I think they were on the wait list for a year. I personally have never gone. My husband went 20 years ago, so he doesn't even really remember everything. I am going to review the activities they have. I'll review the food, the entertainment. I will say we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. I definitely think we'll go again at some point. I'm going to show you everything that you can expect. There's also a lot that I'm leaving out because I don't want to ruin the experience for anyone. Here we go.
Valerie, Kyle Travel Channel.
When you get the email that it's your turn to pick an option, you can choose traditional dining. So you can sit in the Plaza, Gold Mine, Limestone Caverns for $39.99, and then you would just select the time you wanted. We actually chose the cliffside dining because it came with a dedicated table service, and then also is right next to the cliff divers. It was only an extra $5 per person. So you can see for 5 adults, 1 kid, a little over 300, including taxes, and that came out to a little over 50 something dollars per person. So we are driving into the parking lot, and we actually sat at the brewery next door and had a drink while we were waiting. And Kyle, I will let him regale you with his stories of what he remembers from going to Casa Bonita maybe 15 or 20 years ago. Hint, it's nothing, but it's a funny story. All right, Kyle has been to Casa Bonita before. When was that?
Oh, probably 20 years ago.
Do you remember
No, maybe
anything?
like 25 years ago.
Do you remember anything at all?
No, not really. I know that Sean got a tattoo, like in one of these buildings. It might have been at that laundromat over there.
No one knows who Sean is, but it's
Oh.
important to the story.
Yeah.
We made it. We're at Casa Bonita. We have reservations in an hour, and we will see what there is inside. Different things to see or do, and see how the food is. So when you get there for your reservation, you do wait in line and you get in line about 15 minutes beforehand, which is why we had enough time to have a drink at the brewery next door. There were a handful of people waiting, but it did go quick as long as you wait right around, that 15-minute before your reservation mark. Nobody had any issues getting in on time, it didn't seem. You can see on the wall, on the outside of the building, there is a little list of the different entertainment that you can see while you're there. So, cliff diving, obviously, that's a big one. Gunfights, musicians, puppet show, magician, dancing monkeys. We did not do the dancing monkeys or the gunfights, but we did see the rest of them. Once you get in the building, you follow the hallway and the different signs to get seated. You do stop by a couple different people along the way, but there's plenty to see. And it can be a little bit overwhelming when you first get in there because there's so much. The first person handed us the little kids pamphlet, and this was kind of fun. It did have everything listed for them to kind of look for, a little treasure hunt. And then they ask that you don't take photos of the Muppet Theater, but here's a picture of the little taco Muppet. That was probably my favorite thing that we did. I really wish we could have taken videos because it was really entertaining. You get a little pink wristband for drinking. They check your IDs there. And then you keep going around the corner until you get to the person who's going to take you to your seats. As you walk through to your seat, you pass by the kitchen. We passed by some live music. Like I said, we did get the cliffside dining. So you can see we are almost to our table. You can see how close we are to the cliffside. Here is the drink menu. So anything additional, they'll take a card and then they'll run it at the end of the dinner. Extra drinks were $13, $9, 13 for wine, Beer had different prices. And then going to the food menu, you had an option of one. So you could pick an enchilada, carnitas tacos, chicken mole, beef suadero, chile relleno, ceviche, or a taco salad. I had the carnitas tacos, which was slow cooked pork. He had the enchiladas, which were cheese. One interesting thing about the dinner was everything was scheduled. So the server told us at what times different things would be happening, 20 after the hour, 40 after the hour, on the hour. And we got our first cliff diver shortly after seating. If you did need any help, the little flag on the table, you could raise that and the server would come over. They did bring chips and salsa for everyone, plenty of chips and salsa. So here's the carnitas tacos. They were good. I could have used a little bit more spice, maybe a little bit more salt. And the cheese enchiladas, I actually kind of like those better. I wish I ordered those. Of course, the sopapillas, which were just delicious with honey. And after dinner is when we got to go and explore for about 3 hours. You could get a card and add some money to it. Here's a little shooting range. So every time you hit a target, one of the items would do a different little thing. The boots would move. Here's the little cave to go through. I believe there's also seating down here. So if you don't get the cliffside seating, you could possibly be seated in this area. That was cool all in itself as well. So after dinner, like I said, we went and we just explored. You walk through the whole building, different levels, different exits and entrances kind of spit you out in different places. Sometimes it's hard to know if you've been to that spot before or not, but you keep just walking through. They did have different bars throughout as well, so you could get additional drinks if you wanted. We got in line early for the Great Sorcerer, which I believe was 10 after the hour every hour. So we really only had 2 chances to go and see the show because it was pretty late. You're not allowed to record during the show. It was really entertaining, very kid friendly. I had a great time. We stopped and got a drink after the show to keep wandering around and see everything. I believe maybe we watched the cliff divers next.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, we were right in front of the diver, and now we're completely soaked. So yeah, there are caution wet signs right in front of the cliff divers. We chose to ignore those, and then we're soaked for the rest of the time, but it was so much fun. The close-up magic was one of my favorite things. I really, really recommend waiting in line for that. They also have a little museum, artifacts from the original Casa Bonita, and a gift shop. We were there for about 3 hours, if not a little longer. We didn't even see everything. There's definitely plenty to see while you're there. I think we'll be back at least once. I recommend definitely go at least once, have the experience. I'm going to go over what it costs. So for 2 tickets for the cliffside dining for adults was $113. That's with tax and everything. The additional drinks, we had 2 drinks, $30 with tips. We had beer at the brewery next door while we were waiting. That was $15 for a total of $158. Considering you can get meals for more than that with zero entertainment, I think it's well worth it. If you go, let us know, comment. I'd love to hear your experience. As always, thank you for watching. You can click here to see our Ensenada cruise or here for Vegas. Stay tuned because I left a blooper in here for you.
I'm kind of blocking it. Are you recording it?
Yes.
Am I supposed to stand directly behind you?
You're supposed to do something.